It's very tough. They said it on the broadcast just now. Very heartbreaking, gut punching. All the words to describe that. Absolute heartbreak. Um, we'll get into it just a little in a little second here. I think we're ready. All right, yeah. Let's just jump into this. It's 8 p.m. All right, it's a late night here. All right. What up, Suns fans? The Suns lose their second game back to back against the Memphis Grizzlies this time. Final score an insane Memphis Grizzlies 151 to a Phoenix Suns 148. There is a lot happened this game and a very interesting this game. I have some takeaways that I think would be important to share here, but we will get to that in just a second here.
Kevin Durant delivers. Gorgeous move for Bradley Beal.
Personally, I feel like that brother needed help.
Devin Booker with the clutch three.
So the Suns drop another game, and frustratingly in OT. Now, I think the first impression here is to be very upset. This is a uh, 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 it bites. It's a venomous bite. It's venomous the way that the Suns lost this game. If you don't know what I mean by that, let me paint the picture for you. We just saw some of the best basketball that the Suns have been able to put out in probable weeks or literal weeks. um, uh, in this struggling sinking of a season, the Suns are they're looking really bad right now in the standings, and we need to hold on to anything here as Suns fans. We just need to grab onto anything. Um, and the Suns, they played a really beautiful game today. It was really awesome, and the cherry on top would have been a win against one of the top teams in the West. But unfortunately, that is not the case. As with some, uh, I don't really know how to describe it, but with some last minute finesse, the Grizzlies are able to walk away with this one, with another win. So it's frustrating to see the Suns put in such a great effort and just have none of it get rewarded. Honestly, I don't think by the reaction of some Suns fans by the Suns Reddit, I don't think any of them would even appreciate if the Suns won tonight. I mean, I get that's where the Suns are right now. Um, because let's be honest, this team's not making it to the postseason. And even if they did make it to the postseason, they're not getting far. The season's already over, folks. So I think one of the things that the Suns fans could hold on to now is just at least get back at some of these top teams, right? The Suns have a tough schedule coming up, and I think it's a fair opportunity. It's especially a thing to happen into sports where a opponent that's less favored than you to get the rare win. We've seen a lot happen with the Suns, and let's be honest, as much as we all hate this Suns team right now as Suns fans, they still got a lot of talent. They can do a lot. And I believe we could probably eke out the occasional win in these last 20 games. I don't know the exact number, how many games are left, but I expect a few. So uh, I'm just coming into this tonight's game with that kind of mentality, that kind of petty, selfish attitude, and that's just given when it comes to sports because that's really all the Suns could do now is change the top teams. Um, you could say that the Suns, yeah, they lost tonight, but also the Memphis Grizzlies, they struggled putting away a number 11 seeded Suns team. So it's all about perspective here, folks, right? If anything, as a Grizzly fan, I'm a little more concerned the fact that John Morant had a really bad night, only able to put together a somewhat decent night by looking the numbers of it just by off of free throws alone. Um, but I'm also a little concerned about the postseason run. Uh, so honestly, I don't think Memphis fans are in that much better of a boat. So I'll take this as a small moral victory as the Phoenix Suns, just as a little jab, a little petty punch against this Memphis team. Sure, they still walked away with the win here, but just barely, and they had to go into overtime for it. So it sucks again that the Suns didn't get a win tonight, especially with some of the performances that individual Phoenix Suns players had. I said at the beginning of the show that this is the best Phoenix Suns basketball we've seen in a while, and that I am not lying when I say that. All right. We had 5 guys tonight in the Phoenix Suns roster that were all 20 plus points. All right. We had KD, Bol, who joins that list with a career high or a season high of 23 points, Bradley Bill, Devin Booker, and Grayson Allen. All 5 of those guys had tremendously good nights. And it's I'm glad. I'm glad we got to at least push these Memphis Grizzlies to their wits' end. Um that's really all you could say about tonight. It's unfortunate. I really loved what the Phoenix Suns were able to come out to do. I think as a Phoenix Suns fan, you just want to see some life. All right. Phoenix Suns are frustrated right now with this team, and you want to see some life. You've heard all the criticism. Book has degressed this season. KD is not a leader. Beal is not worth the contract. The big three is a failure. The Phoenix Suns season, what is going on? Why isn't it working? There's a lot of frustration going on. Um, so it's good for a night just to see it all work together for like at least uh, just come together for at least a night, you know? Booker, KD, Bill all had solid games. Although I'd say another pretty bad game from Kevin Durant. Uh, he reached his season average at least, but it's for 43 minutes. And this game and the Toronto game, these are really questionable games from KD. He still posted up 8 rebounds and 7 assists, um, which is fine. But most of the carrying happened from Devin Booker and Bradley Bill, who I'll circle back to my point here. I kind of forgot the point I was making there, but it goes back to the point that at least we're seeing something from this Phoenix Suns team because they came out aggressive, they came out attention detailed, and they were ready to get scrappy tonight. And that's what I enjoyed most about tonight's game. Devin Booker, let's talk about him, not just his stats, but I do want to bring up a specific play here, as I don't know where exactly it was, but it was somewhere during the second quarter where Booker was controlling the ball and he got stripped from Ja Morant. And instead of the usual Devin Booker stands up, watches like Ja just run away with the ball and Booker complains to the ref. No, instead, tonight we got to see Devin Booker. As soon as he lost that ball, he dived and he deflected that ball to keep it away from the Grizzlies. It was that little fight that made it look like the Suns could have grabbed back possession. Unfortunately, they didn't for that specific instance. But that just goes to prove the point that the Suns came out with a different look today. And I appreciate it. It shouldn't go unnoticed that they are really trying to change things. I think a lot of Suns fans are saying that it's the big three has given up. Bill's just here for the paycheck. KD's also here for the paycheck. And, they've given up on this basketball. But I think it's nights like this and little efforts like this that go unrecognized that these guys are still trying to make this work. This failure of a season, um, they're just trying to affect it in every part. And I don't want to just criticize them for that. They're still trying to make it work, even though it definitely doesn't work. And I appreciate that. I mentioned a lot with Bradley Bill recently, and the couple of games he's been having. He's just been really good over this last 3 game stretch, especially against Chicago, Toronto, and this game. He's been just bringing this level of attitude, even with all the trade rumors and all the negativity surrounding Bradley Bill's name here in the Valley. He still shows up to work to put up the effort. He dropped 24 points tonight. Not his usual efficiency that he's been having these last 2 games, but it's still a level of professionalism that you got to admire. He had 11 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block. And he had 2 turnovers, 2 fouls. But that is a filled stat sheet of a guy who is trying to make it work. That does not seem like a stat line of a guy who is just here for a paycheck. Kate, sorry, Devin Booker also has a stat line like that, 28 points, and is the game scorer leader for tonight, along with 10 assists, 3 rebounds, 5 turnovers, unfortunately, um, and 6 personal fouls. He did foul out in the fourth quarter. They're trying to make it work. So I'll just take I'll appreciate the effort, and they fought and they took this Memphis Grizzlies team into overtime, even though it really shouldn't have ended that way. You could continue saying that even though the Suns were at their best tonight, posting a really good 21 3 pointers made, better shooting than we've seen in the last couple of games combined. Like, you look at the numbers, 50%. The Suns shot 53% from the field this entire game. They led in rebounds. They led in 3 points made just by one. They had one more made 3 pointer. Um, they had more blocks. It's stuff like that that really makes you think we should have won this game. It's unfortunate, but I appreciate the effort. Okay, and that's at least the bare minimum here in Phoenix. It's gotten really desperate. Uh, Again, the expectation should be to win here, but I don't think I think we're past that point now. And it's just only a matter of time until each Suns fan has to come to that realization that we aren't going anywhere with this current roster. And we have this current roster for the entire night, or at least for the rest of the season. So it's an unfortunate game. Once again, just like that, the Suns lose to the Memphis Grizzlies. A crazy box score. Okay. When was the last time you've seen 2 teams go to 140 plus points in a game and into OT? Um, that's really crazy. So with this loss, the Suns have lost 2 straight and dropped to 27 and 31 on the season. That puts them, I believe, 2.5 games behind the Sacramento Kings, who currently hold the 10th seed. The Suns are still the 11th seed, and they are further into the elimination round. They are now 1-9 in their last 10. So if you think the Suns are going to change, I have bad news for you. Um, so that's where the Suns stand currently. And I also wanted to bring this up around posts All-Star break, but I didn't have my predictions in. I got my next 12 here for the Phoenix Suns. And you can see I've gone with a very different strategy. I've noticed with all my other predictions, I put a lot more hope into the Suns than I realized. Um, but not this time around. I'm just like the Phoenix Suns here. I'm trying to stat pad my prediction record right now. So I could definitely see with all these upcoming games that the Suns have, I could definitely see them going on a huge losing streak. I at least expect them to at least take a game against the upcoming New Orleans games. But that's about it. That's all I really have to hold hope for. Um, my prediction record has been doing pretty good. I'm 33 and 25. If I was a if my prediction record was a NBA team, I would be the sixth seed right now. Currently ahead of the Clippers, Minnesota, and Dallas. So that's pretty cool. So that's about it. And speaking about the upcoming New Orleans games, that is what the Suns are going to be facing for the next two games, in fact, as that is going to be our back to back. The Suns will be back at it again Thursday, February 27th against New Orleans. That will be here back at Phoenix after this long 5-game road trip. The Suns are back home for a quick four, uh, kicking off with Thursday, the 27th, against the New Orleans Pelicans. And then the very next day, the Friday, and the very last day of February, the 28th, is another game against the New Orleans. So we're facing them twice on a back to back at home. And that will be the next Suns game time. So we will see you Thursday. Until then, um, enjoy this night. Take what I said into consideration. All right, you don't have to, but just try looking at things from a different perspective. Because I know a lot of Suns fans are pretty sad right now, and there is reason to be sad, but it shouldn't affect you that much, right? It's just guys playing basketball at the end of the day. Um, no one's really dying, at least I hope, from this. So that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back here Thursday. Until then, see you guys next time.